We are in a time right now wherein people learn quicker, people adapt better, people have more resources at their own disposal, people have access to vast information online. They can look for information they want, they can look for information they need as well. So, because of these reasons, there are just few reasons why, but these are some of the reasons why what used to be normal isn't so normal anymore. You know, and that's a good thing, right? A great thing, even. It should be a great thing, right? But everything that comes in our life, no matter what form it is, no matter how you looked at it, no matter how you think how great it is, everything has its own ugly side. An ugly side that people will only realize once they truly comprehend the true nature of this something. Right? I know what I'm trying to say, or I know what I'm saying is very broad. It's even borderline confusing, right? And I know it is. But even if I try to be specific in this certain or this specific topic, even if I try to give specific examples, they will always have a counter argument for it. You will see the flaw in it because that's the point, right? That's the point that I'm trying to say, that everything in this world has its own flaw. No matter how small or big it is, it always has its flaw or flaws. And let's take the internet for example, right? Before, when people want to access information, they can go, or they must go to libraries, read books, read newspapers. If they want to, hear the latest news, they have to do these things, right? And it's something that's normal for them back then, right? But if you put it into context now in our time, we have access to vast information. We have the internet, we have the television. So people who still use newspaper, who still go to libraries to get information they want and need, are seen as not so normal people anymore. They're not so normal anymore because what's normal now is to go to the internet and search for the information that you need, that you want, right? What used to be normal back then isn't so normal now, right? And that's a good thing. It depends on how you look at it, but that's a good thing, right? You have access to information quicker. Like, with a snap of a finger, you can get the information that you need and want. Because back then, you need to read books, like newspapers, magazines to get information, right? And as I've said, everything has its own flaw, has its own downside, has their own ugly side, right? And when it comes to the internet, I've talked about this for, I don't know, not in detail, but I've doubled my toes around this topic. And on the internet, right now, I'm sure you're quite aware that most of the time, all you see is the ugly side of it. Most of the time you see how people can get so desperate for attention in the internet, wherein they are harming people, they are harming others, they are belittling, most of the time, or at some point in their intention to be famous on the internet. You see these things, that wasn't normal back then, but it's being seen as normal right now. especially here, Philippines, they, I mean, I don't want to go deep in this topic, but most of the content creators that make noise and here are a lot of times, you know what, let's just leave it at that. I don't want to go deep without offending anyone, and I don't want to do that. So let's just go to this general and the general overview of things rather than giving specific examples. But yeah, on the internet, the one of the downside and one of its ugly sides is that people will do almost anything and everything just to be famous on the internet, and a lot of the people who consume that kind of content will think that it's normal to do that, right? They will think that it's normal to do that because that certain video, that certain clip, that certain image is getting so much traction, it's getting so much likes, it's getting so much views and everything like that. So it's being seen as normal now, right? I mean, at least if you don't think critically, you don't analyze the situation, you don't get the two sides of things and all of that stuff. But a lot of people don't. They just see it on a surface level, they just see it and how it is, and it's sad. It's sad to see, sad to hear, and it's just one of the bad things that you can get from the internet. And of course, there are still good things about it. There are still great content creators out there. But of course, as I've said, everything has its own flaws. Everything has its own ugly side. It's a double-edged sword, basically, right? And it's something that we should be wary of. We should be mindful of. We should be wary of what we consume on the internet, what we subscribe to, right? What we believe in. Because on the internet, you see this people who are experts on sharing their expertise in certain things that need professional help, and they all become, I don't know, immediate professionals in that point, and it's not healthy. It's not helpful, actually, if you think deeper. And I don't know, but things that I'm doing and saying is actually one example of, I don't know if you can call it a bad side of the internet, because I'm sharing my opinions and experiences, sharing my perceptions, sharing how I perceive things, and you might get persuaded with my thoughts, with my points, with my arguments, and I might change your perception about things, and that will make me happy in a way, because what I think and what I observe is what I genuinely believe is the truth, right? So because of that, you might actually categorize me as well as bad side, an ugly side of the internet. I mean, if you think about it that way. Yeah, right. Oh god. But of course, as I've said throughout my videos, throughout my statements, that you can always disagree with what I'm saying. You can disagree and have your own opinion, own thoughts, and be completely opposite of what I'm saying. And I would respect that, greatly respect that. And I'm even open to you convincing me otherwise, right? Because as I've said, these are your opinions, these are your thoughts, these are observed experience. And I don't know if I made sense in this video. I don't know if I made the point at all, actually. Basically, it boils down to me saying that the things that we have now, the things that we have access now, that people didn't have before, is what makes the normals, or what used to be normals before, not so normal anymore right now, right? The things that are considered normal before are not normal now in their standards. And I know standards differ from people to people, from, I don't know, culture to culture as well. And most of the time, it's basically ethics versus morality, right? Being like sets of, like, personal set of standards and set of standards set by people. I don't know if I just got you more confused, but I think, yeah. Actually, I think I'm gonna talk more about that one. Morality versus ethics. Yeah, maybe I will. I think I will. I don't know. I guess that's about it. I hope you got something out of this video. Like anything at all that you can use for yourself. And, I don't know, help you in some way. Or you can hate on it as well. You can give your 2 cents on it as well. And I wouldn't even blame you for that. Because I know how chaotic this video is. I know how no sense at all can be. Or how it is, actually. Anyways, that's about it. Stay awesome.